It's an interesting time these days because for the first time ever in history, every day you're scrolling through social media and you're seeing these people with huge amounts of wealth, success, even when they're very, very young.
These are some of the youngest self-made millionaires in the world.
We're working with.
So I dropped out.
How many employees or people on your team do you have?
65, 70?
Yeah, we're basically a $20 million fund.
It's creating a bigger and bigger disconnect with your reality, with where you are in life right now. Maybe you are about to head into university or college. You're not sure where you want to go in life. Do you want to do your own thing? You hear so many people who are dropout students who have found massive amounts of success, but you also probably haven't heard of the people who have dropped out of college and they haven't found that level of success. Because the fact is, you're only seeing the shiny side of life. Typically from these influencers and these successful people, you're being bombarded with the good life and you're not really exposed to the bad life. And so it's not a very easy or simple decision to make when you're considering whether or not you should go to university. Let's talk about that in this video today. By the way, my name is Eddie, and today my income is now higher than what my old full-time annual salary used to be. And I did go to uni, I did go to college, and I did go through those years of academics, not really knowing what I wanted from life. And I'll be honest, I did fail a few years. I got kicked out a couple of schools. I wasted time. By the time I left uni and finished being a student, I felt like I was so behind because I wasted so much time, and I realized what I wanted too late. But the fact that you're watching this video right now actually tells me that you're ahead of the curve already, because you're already thinking about this and you're already thinking ahead of what you should be doing. What's the best choice? What's the best path to take? So I'm going to give you my honest opinion about whether or not you should go to university or college and what is the best decision that you should make given what it is that you want from life. And maybe you don't know what that is yet, but hopefully this video will help you decide what is the best option for you. Now, firstly, before we dive any deeper, we're going to rule out a few career paths. Okay, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be an engineer or an architect, any kind of specialist field in the medicine world, then yes, chances are you probably do need to go to university to learn to study science and study law or engineering, physics, maths. I don't see a shortcut around those things because you need to know the theory in order to apply that in your real life. So we're not going to talk about those career paths in this video. If you're set on doing one of those career paths, then I wish you all the best. And I'm very happy and glad that you know what it is that you want to do. That's not what I'm going to talk about in this video today. We're not going to talk about those particular career paths. So let's talk about the first scenario. And the first scenario is you don't really know what it is that you want to do. After you finish your studies and your education, you still don't really have a good idea about what it is that you want to do. Maybe you have an inkling, you have an idea of, oh, I like the arts or I like the sciences. Maybe you have an idea, but you're not 100% certain. Then in this circumstance, this is what I recommend for you. The number one rule in approaching university or college is making sure that you come out of that experience a better person, a much better version and higher level compared to who you are today, right now, watching this video. And that doesn't need to be in the form of educational smarts. You don't need to come out knowing more facts, knowing more theory or information about the world, but how can you be better as an individual, skill-wise? It could be anything. It could be intelligence. It could be the way you think, the way you problem solve. It could be charisma. It could be networking opportunities. What is it from university that could enrich your life for the better after you go through that experience? It's going to be a 3 to 4, 5 year commitment. So you have to make sure that you're not leaving university with just, a piece of paper telling you that, oh, you're amazing at this particular topic or subject. There's a lot more to life than just grade or what somebody else has determined how good you are at something, right? You have the rest of your life to live. I'm based in the UK, by the way, so I know education system in America is going to be a little bit different. And I've heard that a lot of people, they choose to go to places like Harvard or, Ivy League schools because of the networking opportunity, right? You're going to network with students who have wealthy families and people who are on, on a good fast track to success, and knowing them for the future is going to be beneficial to your life, right? I get that premise. However, one thing I want to ask you to consider is if you actually, how do I say this without offending anybody? That's the hardest part. And it's very easy to buy into that idea of, oh yeah, I'm going to have fun, network with people because your network is your net worth and all of this stuff. Well, that's true. Also consider that a lot of those students going into university, they haven't proven themselves yet, right? They don't have that much life experience. And very often, many people, they are academic smart, right? They're smart in the sense that they know their books, their textbooks. They've read all the books. They've got good grades, high grades. But that's not an indicator for actual life success. Success in wealth, in relationships, in all the facets that come with life. Your academic smarts is just a tiny, if anything, it's almost irrelevant in the grand scheme of your life, right? So consider what type of life you want to live and look at people who are living the life that you want to have, or you think that you might want to have or experience. And I'm willing to bet that a lot of them, they didn't come through Harvard or, these other high-ranking schools, and they just live life and they had their own individual journey. And that individual journey is very important because everybody's individual journey is going to be very different. They became the person they are because of their individual journey. Just like you need to find your individual journey to become the person that you're destined to be. You can dictate who that person will be, who you will become. So I would say don't blindly follow the herd. Don't just follow people. When the masses, when all your friends are doing one thing, ask yourself, what's the best option for you? What is it that you want? What experiences will make you a better person? And if you commit to going to university with the aim of making friends, networking, and going down that route, then commit to it. Go 110% into doing that. Don't just coast and go partying and everything like that. Actually, how can you make as many deep connections with as many people as possible? Go in there with that aim, and then in 3, 4, 5 years, then you're gonna find the people who you resonate with, who you think you want to ride or die with, and build businesses with, and whatever opportunities you want to explore, then do it. But commit. Make sure that you leave your university experience having accomplished what you set out to achieve. On top of just getting a graded piece of paper saying that you graduated in this topic or that topic, try and find some depth in your experience. Now, I don't really have that many regrets in life. But if I could go back in time and tell a younger version of myself what not to do, it would be to not waste time, because I got kicked out of 2 schools before university, and I had to, retake a year. I got really bad grades pre-university, so I had to take an extra year. It's a foundation year in order for me to be accepted into the mechanical engineering course that I wanted to attend. And so I had to fill in my grades with that extra year. So that was already 2 extra years wasted before I got into uni. Then at uni, I failed my second year, so I had to retake my second year. That's another year wasted. So by the time I finished my education, I was 3 years, behind in a way. And it was only until the last year of uni, through certain things that happened in my life, I figured that out. I looked at some people and said, oh, I respect that. I want to become like that. And maybe this person introduced me to this book or that book, and I read it and I'm like, oh my God, money doesn't work the way that I always thought it did. And then like a chain reaction, my life trajectory started shifting. And that's how I got to where I am today. So if you're already thinking about this, thinking about who you want to become, what it is that you want to do in life before I did, then I'd say you're already in a much, much better place than I was. If you're set on just making as much money as possible, then I will tell you this, you don't need to go to university to do that. The way you make money is by offering a unique value or skill set that you have for somebody else, and that transaction is what allows you to make money. So the better you are at providing that value, or the more people that you can provide that value for, that is where your money will be made. And you don't need a fancy university degree or grade to help you do that, because it is possible. And those influencers and people that you're seeing as you're scrolling through social media, who are flashing their nice watches, going on these luxurious travel trips and buying all these expensive things, expensive cars with a Lambo, it's very possible. Right? And you can do the same. But know that you have to be somebody who's able to give a lot of value to somebody else, to an individual or to a business. How can you help somebody with your skill? And the better you are at providing that value, the better you are at your craft, at your skill, the better you are than other people in the space, then the more money you will make as well. It takes sacrifice. It's not easy. You don't find success by jumping from one thing to the other, next shiny object to the next one. You have to commit and say, okay, I want to be very good at this. I think that I have natural talent, or I think that I have a good foundation to develop this skill, and this skill can help businesses make lots of money. Double down on it. Learn. You have time on your side. That's the best thing. If you're 19, 20, 21, you have so much time to hone your skill. Internet, YouTube, courses. There's no lack of resource for you to become good at anything you set your mind to. And I actually did that, by the way. That last year of university, when I figured out that I wanted to, become an entrepreneur, didn't really think of that word at the time. I was thinking I just needed to make money on my own terms. I was spending my student loans that I should have been using for rent. Instead, I was using it to buy internet courses, online courses, how to make money, and I couldn't afford rent. I don't recommend you do that. What I'm saying is that you have a lot of time and access to resources online, and actually more so today as opposed to 10 years ago. So learn to be resourceful and know that you can learn anything you want to through the internet. You don't need to go to a fancy lecture hall, pay thousands and thousands every year just to listen to some old man speak to you, right? That hasn't really perhaps accomplished what it is that you want to accomplish. And be very critical about who you listen to, who you're influenced by. What are people telling you? What are they saying is what's best for you? Giving you advice. Listen to people who have achieved something that you want to achieve. Does your professor at your university earned and lived the life that you want to live yourself? If not, then why are you really listening to this person? So really the best move for you is to make a decision and commit to one thing for at least 3 months, 6 months. See how you like it. Is that something that you feel like you can make a lot of money with, or just make you a better person? If so, then do it and keep learning, keep tasting things, tasting experiences, finding opportunity to learn, find mentors to help you learn faster and to skip the mistakes that they made. Speaking of mistakes, this is also a very big thing. I was speaking to somebody, a friend recently, about mistakes, and you have to fail fast, fail quick, fail hard. That's how you learn. That already is also bullshit. Everybody says that. Even professor lecturers, they say that thing, right? But it's not true, because you can skip failures. You can learn from other people's failures. Chances are, whatever it is that you want to do to make money, other people have already made money with that, doing that exact same thing, and they've already made the mistake. Why do you want to waste your time making the same mistakes that they made, when you can just learn from them and save yourself the pain and heartache and time? Even if you have to pay that person to learn, that could potentially speed up your progress 3x, 5x, 10x, and you don't need to learn those things yourself anymore, because you can learn from that other person. So failures will happen, but don't seek to fail fast, fail hard, fail often. Seek to avoid failure by becoming good at your craft and your skill and finding mentors. Something else to consider as well is, when I think back to my younger days, pre-university, I was definitely not somebody who had a lot of self-confidence. I didn't have that sense of self-worth, and I wasn't very good socially as well. And university actually helped me a lot with those things and those skills. So if you also feel like you could develop some of your social acumen and how you communicate with people, how you handle negotiations, and how do you handle conflict and those things, then actually forcing yourself into a new environment could be very good for you. If you need to get away from home or your parents, that's also could be a very beneficial thing for you in the line of thinking of upgrading yourself as an individual, as a person. And I needed to do that actually. Back in the day, I needed to leave my family home and get away, figure out who I wanted to become, and that was very important for me. So maybe that's also something that you need to do as well. In which case, if you're going to go to uni for that reason, but you're still not sure about what career path, how you want to make money, and you're not going to do anything in those academic fields like law or medicine, engineering, and so on, then what I'll recommend is pick an easy subject. Pick a subject that you can accomplish very, very easily. The reason why that is because that's going to open up a lot of time for you to explore other things, explore business opportunities, to learn, study business, find mentors, and do all of those other things that you would have done anyway. But that way, uni has covered your, it's put you in a new environment. It's put you outside of your comfort zone, and those are good things too that you should consider. So if you choose to do that, make sure you make a pact with yourself and say that, okay, I'm not going to coast. I am going to go to uni with the intention of achieving this, not just going there to graduate in this subject that I've picked, right? That should not be the goal of you going to uni. It should be, how am I going to upgrade myself, my skills, my individual value to the market when I finish uni? That should be the question that you ask yourself. Now, if you're already at university, you're already studying, you have your classes, or you've just started your 9 to 5, but you really want to build something on the side and you want to get into business, but you don't really know where to start or how to manage your time, juggle your energy, and all of those things, then check out the link below in the description of this video. There's a link which allows you to sign up to a waitlist, and I'm building a group of like-minded people like you and me who are really trying to transition away from a 9 to 5 or university and become their own boss, earn income on their own terms. So check out the link underneath this video for that. In the meantime, check out this other video that I made as well about how to transition away from being an employee into becoming your own boss, and what mindset shift is really needed to help you accomplish that.